What's going on, guys? Duelim here, back again with another video, and today we're going to be going over the changes to the raid store. That's right, some awesome changes to the raid store, and then we're going to talk about how you can maximize the raid store based on how much currency you have, how much currency you're going to need to get those GGC Awaken abilities, and how much you should open right now for red orbs. So let's look at this. So we got open all stuff. TLDR, open all will not be coming back, but they're trying to do a little workaround fix for open all for right now in the meantime. But right now it's not coming back because it came back to the game for a little bit for a small majority of players. It was breaking the game again, caused problems. Oh well. GGC Awakened Ability Materials. That's right. We're finally getting them. It has only been 6 months. Woo! 6 whole months we waited. So we finally got GGC Awaken abilities. So like it was talked about before, Nova and Black Cat Awaken ability materials will be sold for raid credits at 2,700. So these are the regular raid credits that we all have millions of. So if you haven't gotten those, just get them now for fun. You got something to spend your raid credits on. So it's 2,700 for 10 of them. So not that expensive at all. The real news here is Green Goblin Classic Awaken ability materials will be sold for elite raid credits. So those are the ones you're getting from Incursion. Remember, you're getting about 4,800 a day if you're doing Incursion 2.3. So it's going to be at 2,400 for 5. And we're going to go into the math on that a little bit more in depth in a minute of how much you're going to need total to get all 3 abilities and the order you should upgrade the abilities in if you're strapped for elite credits. Crimson Raid Orbs will also be available to purchase with Elite Raid credits, which is incredible. The problem is you're going to have to make a choice between the Awaken abilities or the Gear 19. The Gear 19 Orbs, these are going to be the ones that have the origin pieces and have the chance at dropping the uniques. This is not going to be the Armory 19 Orbs that's only dropping the mini uniques for red gear, unfortunately. So not as good, but I was not expecting them to do that. But it's at 4,800 for 1 orb, which means if you're doing Incursion 2.3, this is an extra orb a day if you're just using it on this. And then, awesome idea here. Green Goblin Classic, Black Cat, and Nova will each get 1 slot for their Awakened abilities. Love that. You can also purchase the Teal Raid, Teal Elite, and Teal Epic Orb with raid credits as well. We'll go over the cost of those down below. They're also adding Gear 14, 15, 16, and 17 mini unique and teal unique slots. This is going to help people get APOC a lot quicker, get to later game a lot faster, which I like because they're going to be able to use raid supplies, raid credits on that. Love that. Shop quantities for stacks of gear will also be set to better align with gold supplies, so the stacks were increased as well. So if you're low on origin pieces for teal, you've got a new place to spend some raid credits. And then raid orb prices for raid credits will be rebalanced to match the new gear pieces. So you'll see here, we've got the Green Goblin ones, 5 for 2,400, which if you are going for all 3 abilities, you are going to need 288,000 elite raid credits to do it total. That is the equivalent of 60 days worth of Incursion 2.3. So honestly, not too bad, even if you don't have anything stockpiled. So actually really, really good. And then the Black Cat and Nova Awaken abilities, honestly, who cares? Because these are raid credits. These are easy to get. They're also increasing the amount of blue, purple, origin, and teal gear in here. They're increasing the amount of rows. They're increasing the stack amounts. They're doing a whole bunch of stuff to this. And you'll see here, these are the 18s and the 17s that are going to be in here. These are the 17s here. That are going to be in the store. So you can get 4 of them for 2,000 credits, which if you're trying to go for APOC still, this is extremely, extremely awesome for you. You're going to be able to fly through Apocalypse with these prices here. So this is awesome. And then if you're strapped for teal uniques, they're selling stacks of 4 for only 5,000 raid credits. So this means your war currency can go just to the characters that are put in the war store instead of having to buy the teal uniques in the war store. The raid store is going to be the place to go to get them, which is incredible. This is kind of this is going to be their workaround to open all. What we're going to do here is essentially they're going to make it so the orbs have a cost increase from 2,000 to 20,000, but they're going to increase the drop rate by 10% essentially. So they're increasing the cost, but they're increasing the drop rate. So essentially they're dividing all of our orbs by 10. to make it a little bit easier for us to open orbs. So opening by 10 is now the equivalent of opening by 100. So that will kind of fix a little bit of the issue of us having so many orbs and not having open all right now, which is great. There's going to be higher drop rates to combat this. There's also going to be a 100% chance of 2 teal uniques in the center for the teal raid orb as well, which is awesome. And then the teal elite orb was also changed a little bit for T16 minis, which is really cool. And then also they're changing the stack costs and stack amount for origin gear. So if you're looking for origin gear, this will also be the place to get it. I know Mystic gear has always been a problem for me. And we've got the Mercs for Money team coming out. So if you're low on mutant gear, you can see here for 3,000 credits, you can get 100 stack, which is pretty awesome. And then you'll see here more 100 stack, same thing. And then down here, this is going to be the cost for the actual orbs, just to buy them outright with your raid credits. And remember, this is a 10 times what they used to be. So 4,200 for essentially 10 teal gear raid orbs. Same thing with Teal Elite, Teal Epic, and then the Crimson Gear Raid Orbs. So let's hop into game here, and we'll see the store here. So you'll see I have 624,000 Elite Raid credits right now. So at the price that they're giving at 4,800 a pop for red gear, I'm probably going to open probably 500,000 of my Elite Raid gear, of my Elite Raid credits on the red gear, and keep about 100,000 banked for the GGC Awakens to make sure I can buy them every single day, no matter what. And just make sure I have a surplus of those. Honestly, you could probably drop that down to about 50,000 and open up red gear all the way down to you have only 50,000. Because you're really not going to need that much for the Green Goblin. Like I said, it's only 288,000 credits, and that's if you're getting all 3 of them. But we can go look at Green Goblin, and we could see which abilities you guys should be doing first, in my opinion. So the first one, without a doubt, is going to be the passive. The passive is incredibly good, and it's even better now since Scopely added some text into it. So on Crucible Defense, apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all superior 6 allies. This is going to keep them really, really sturdy. So when teams start being able to get ahead of them or manipulate their turn meter, they're going to be able to survive some initial hits, which is great. But also this line added, while this character has charged, gain 40% chance to counterattack for self and all Sinister 6 allies. This is incredible. This is really, really good. This counterattack is really good. This was a bug originally, but they just added it into the kit because that's way easier than actually fixing it. But I would say this one is a shoe-in to buy. Like, no matter what, you need to buy this one with Elite Raid credits, 100%. Next up is going to be the ultimate. So on Crucible Offense, gain 2 charged, up to a maximum of 5. So this is going to be when he ults turn 1, he's going to get 2 extra charges. So he spawns with 3. He will get those 2 extra charges. And then Doc Ock will end up giving him more charges as well, up to a maximum of 5. So he's almost always going to have 5 charges. And then remember, that's going to also bolster his passive for the 40% counterattack chance. And then the basic is kind of meh. On Crucible Offense, gain 10% crit chance for each Spider-Verse character that is present. So this means if you're going against Spider-Verse, this also affects it. So the enemy team also affects this. So you can really have 90% crit chance. I'm not sure if it counts himself or not, so it could be 100% crit chance. So for some matchups, you may just want to go straight Striker instead of Raider, because he's going to crit 100% of the time based on the enemy team. Which is really, really cool. Something that's awesome about that. But if you don't want to spend your Elite Raid credits and you just want to go for 1 or 2 of these abilities, I would say passive first, then ultimate, and then open up more red gear. But I would concern you to err on the side of caution, because the problem is you're going to have to remember that it took 6 months for us to get these abilities, right? So Old Man Logan's about to come out in about 2 weeks, and I'm presuming that these abilities are going to be sold for Elite Raid credits until Old Man Logan abilities are released in presumably about 6 months, and then the Green Goblin Classic abilities will go to regular Raid credits, just like Nova and Black Cat is right now. So that's what I'm going to be doing for my Raid credits. I am going to be spending most of them on red gear because I feel like red gear is going to be the best place to use them. especially because I have about 625,000 saved up right now. And then the rest of those, I'm going to save probably about 50,000 so I can buy the Green Goblin Classic abilities 3 times a day, which will be just under 15,000 a day. But I'm getting about 5,000 from my raids every single day. Also, you're going to have an issue of Green Goblin Classic abilities coming up even when you already have the max. So if you have the passive max, you could also get the passive over and over and over again instead of the ult or the basic. So it should take about 60 days with perfect RNG, but I'm presuming it's probably going to take closer to about 90 days, which is 3 months. But I'm glad we actually have them in the store, and I'm super glad we can open up some elite raid orbs, which are going to be the gear 18 orbs, or the gear 19 orbs, so we can actually get some more red gear in our accounts, get some Dark Dimension 7 going, and get more Mephistos in the game. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, y'all.